Going to be a very fast-paced session. Who has time? Okay, we don't have time. And the exciting thing that I love about the program that I'm going to tell you about is that it takes minutes a day. So we get fooled. We think that, oh my gosh, I've got to do so much. I've got to sit all day in the gym. I've got to lift these little weights constantly. No, it doesn't take that. It really doesn't. So I'm going to condense some of my best secrets from this little book. It's You're Not Too Old and It's Not Too Late, because that's what I truly believe. And we're going to start with how do we condense this so that we can remember the things that we really need to remember? Because a lot of this we already know. It's just we don't put it together in the right pattern. So that was me, and I was in that stage of what do I do now? I'm 69, I'm going to be 70. 70 looks like it's going downhill. What do I do? How do I package the years ahead? How do I have a roadmap for the years ahead? And that's what's in the book, but now I'm going to condense it in less than 30 minutes so that you can take what I give and use it today. So here's what stops us from aging the way that we want, from being strong as we get older. What truly stops us is our mind. Okay, so we start to think stereotypically. We put a ceiling on fitness. We think, okay, somebody 80, they must be, you know, in a wheelchair instead of on a balance beam. Because that is the reality for us. We can get stronger with age, and our bodies are a lot stronger than we think that they are. But if we begin to believe that decline is inevitable, that is exactly what's going to happen to us, because we are fighting the inevitable if you do nothing. The exciting thing is that it's totally and completely preventable. So, to me, the most exciting work on this whole issue of mind body is the work of Ellen Langer in her Mindless Body. Her book, Mindless Body, is all about how the mind and the body go together, and her famous study of the counterclockwise. The counterclockwise study is about how she turned back time for a group of individuals 1 week, put them into a setting where they had to be reversing their years by 20. So they read books, they saw movies, they listened to records and radio and all the things that were occurring 20 years prior. They did before and after. Even the photos of the people after 1 week look younger. Their brains were attuned to a younger period of time and their bodies went with it. Their grip strength got better, their eyesight got better, and they even looked visibly younger. So since then, Ellen Langer is a professor at Harvard University. She's been there for over 40 years, the first woman to gain tenure at Harvard. And what she's done since that counterclockwise study is continue to support her um, hypotheses that you can control much of the aging process by your brain. So if we think that we're going to decline, decline is inevitable because we start to move in that direction. We start not to do things we should be doing to push further. And the docs will tell you if you're over 50, then you should walk. And that's simply, we know, not enough. So mind and controlling your thoughts and thinking about what do I want to be 20 years from now? What do I want to be doing 20 years from now? 20 years from now, I will be 100. Yes, excited about that. So I'm thinking about, what do I want to be doing at 100? I don't want somebody helping me out of my chair. I don't want somebody helping with me with my groceries because I think I can do it. I know I can at 100. I can be on a balance beam at 90 if I think I can. I'm working up to it. And I'm on a balance beam right now, so why can't I be there when I'm 90? But if I think that I can't, it's not possible. So we're not as fragile as we think. So I would rather fall off that balance beam and break something because I know my recovery would be pretty speedy than not to have the core strength fall on a uneven surface. And so many women fall just getting off the curb. Okay, so if that happens and they break something, 30% of them do not live past 1 year of that break. And 50% have a permanent mobility disability after that. So I know that my recovery, if I'm strong, is going to be much, much faster than if I have done nothing and I fall and I break something. So thinking of where we want to be and thinking of the people who have just, broken through that ceiling of belief that we can't do it. And one person that comes to mind is Martha Stewart. Okay, so at 82, Martha Stewart is on a cover girl. She's a cover girl for a swimsuit. 81 or 82. Okay, so we all know what Martha Stewart's history was. It's quite colorful. Okay, but you don't think of her as a swimsuit person. But she decided that when she, about 2 years prior to this photo shoot, they said, "Hey, you want to be on the cover?" She started working with a trainer. She started her nutrition program. She worked out consistently for 1 year. And if you saw that cover, she looks fabulous. She looks fabulous. 82 swimsuit cover. She did not put a ceiling on what she thought she could do. Uh-oh, I see myself freezing. Oh, okay, I'm unfrozen. All right. So the mind is the first thing to control in terms of how we age. And I hear so many women, I'm 50, so I can't do this. Oh, I heard this one, I'm 67, I don't know how many Christmases I have left. Okay, well, we start thinking in a negative way. I mean, we're going to go in that direction. So we have to change the way we think about how we're going to age. And then we have to put the action behind. How am I going to make it to 100 and be as strong as I am today? You can't stop the progression of what you're going to do. And that moves us to the next thing I want to talk about, and that is movement. Okay, we have to put strength training back on the table as absolutely necessary for us as we age. We absolutely have to do that. Okay, and we don't talk enough about this as women. Okay, so everything is sort of geared toward cardio. And cardio is wonderful, and I believe in it. I think that it's great. And I have added a 20-minute fast walk, half run with my little dog every single day. And I hadn't been doing that because I have an elliptical at home. I have a gym, so I felt, what do I need to do that for? It's absolutely essential to get that uh, first light, if you can, to get the breath control of the day and to get your heart rate up. Essential, but it is not enough. So you have to add these little things, and it doesn't take that much. All right, so you can start with lightweight. So if you're further along on your journey, this is going to seem silly. So, uh, but you can take this and give it to someone who hasn't started yet. And if that's you, then the first thing you want to do is stretches. Okay, so you want to start your morning and with stretches, and I know this from personal experience. When I stop stretching, you start tightening up. Your muscles are not ready for the day. And this is what makes us age in a way that I think is, we don't want to do this. Okay, we want to keep our strength going as long as our days are here on this earth. In order to do that, you've got to start the day with some breath. And there's lots of books and information about breath. So I won't get into that. But after that, then you need to do stretches. And so if you go to my website, I have a little free video, a quick one, and it shows you how to start your stretches for the day. Okay, so then every woman should know what to do with these little free weights. Okay. And so the first thing, everyone knows how to do a curl. It's kind of hard to see this. Okay. So the curl is just moving up. Okay. So it's a very simple exercise. And doing this, and the screen is adjusting itself, not in the way I want, but a curl is a very simple exercise, moving your arm up and holding. And you can do just a few sets of these. So you can do 4 sets. And if you're just starting, then you do 4 repetitions. And then you move on to 8 repetitions, 4 sets. And eventually you want to get to 15 repetitions for 4 sets. That's my goal, always. Okay, then there's the shoulder press. So you're here and you move up. Okay, that's a very easy movement. We should all know these. And then there's the laterals where you're pushing out and can't get further enough out so you can see. Okay. And I have these on my website so you can see them. And then, so the curl, the shoulder press, the laterals, everyone should know. And then, of course, we're concerned about our fat right here. And so I pick up a little bit heavier weight, and this is just 5 pounds. Okay, I start, ladies, with 2 pounds. You can start very slowly. You're not going to hurt yourself with 2 pounds. Now, if it's so simple that you feel like you have no weight, then that isn't resistance, and you need to go a little heavier or to increase your number of repetitions. All right, so now this is the way to hold the that you're going to put over your head and move it up. And this is the tricep move. Okay, so you're holding here, you're going over your head, you're going as close to your ears as possible. So the movement is close to the ears as possible and up. And you would start with 2 pounds if you're just starting, then you go to 3 pounds, and then you go to 5 pounds. And I don't even do this more than like 8 or 10 pounds. That's it. All right, so how do you do this? How do you remember to do this? You can place these little weights around the house, okay? And pick them up when you have a time. So most of these weights are like in your closet, under the bed, in the garage. So you need to go get them. And they are absolutely critical. Now, in terms of movement, the other critical thing that we kind of forget about is that we have to put time into balance, standing on one foot, getting stable, stand on one foot, and then get your stopwatch out and take a look at how many seconds can you stand on one foot. Now, everyone should be able to do at least 30 seconds, but the goal is at least a minute. Okay, so 1 minute. And if you cannot do that, then the stability course is for you. I'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, so in terms of movement, standing. Okay, so we're in movement right now. So using weights, using body weight. So you can do, if you're more advanced, you want to do you want to do some press up. And so you want to do you want to do some body weight exercises. So you can do a plank, all right? You can do plank on the knees, you can do plank on your hands flat. And we go into this in the stability program, so you get all of this information slowly over time. And it just takes minutes a day. So you can use body weights, you can use these, you can use bands, but you have to get resistance in because you're trying to build your skeletal muscle. So skeletal muscle is going to be the best predictor of our longevity and the quality of life that we're going to have. And I see myself frozen and I'm worried about that. I don't know, Tracy, if you can stop me from being unfrozen, hopefully you can still hear me. Okay, I somehow I'm unfrozen now. Okay. All right, so we'll go on. Now, we've talked about the first M is mind, the second M is your movement, and the third one is munching. Okay, so this idea that you have to munch all day, no. Okay, the basic rules about what you're going to put into your body. Real food. Okay, so if it's coming out of a bag, if it's coming out of a box, if it has more than, five ingredients, there's something in that package that is injurious to your body. And there is a researcher right now that's saying within the next 10, 15 years, most of our food is going to have a label saying injurious to your health because that's the reality. So those are the three M's. Okay. Mind. Okay. So don't age yourself by thinking you're old at a certain age. I love looking at the super agers. These women are in their 90s, and one was 105 and she was writing her autobiography. Okay, and she wouldn't let anybody call her old. All right, so that was her mental state. It's so critical. So your mind, your movement, and then what you put into your body, what you're munching on, real food. Okay. And honoring, as you look at what you're going to put into your body, honoring protein. And the docs don't tell us about that. And so, unless you have a medical condition that's going to prohibit the use of overuse of protein, for the most part, you can't even get enough. And most women get very little protein per day. So, if you start measuring how much protein you get, if you have a good physical activity going for you, and hopefully you're going to have that, then you need to have, you get over 75 grams of protein a day. And the goal is for bodybuilders to have the same number of grams of protein as they have body weight. All right, now we're going to move into the three S's. There's three S's that are critical to how we're going to age. And if we don't pay attention to them, we age really, really fast. And the first S is sugar. The more sugar that goes into our bodies, the greater the spikes, glucose spikes. And there is research that says that with every one of those spikes, we're aging our body. So the thing that's most injured, and it just affects everything. Sugar's been linked to every chronic disease there is, even the aging of our skin. So we have to really be conscious of the sugar intake that we have. Now, the food manufacturers have gotten very sneaky about this. And so they know that a lot of people don't want sugar. So they're going to say sugarless. And then that's even worse because they're putting some artificial, chemically developed whatever into the food in order to sweeten it and then say, well, that's not sugar because it's this manufactured whatever the product they put into our bodies that our microbiome is going to explode and say, no, it's not meant for human consumption. So sugar is really key. The second S is sleep. And so often we struggle with sleep as we age and we don't put a priority to it. There's it's an essential part of how we're going to age. So most of us need, and it depends on the person, but most of us need 6 to 8 hours. My body, I find, as active as I am, I need 8 hours. So I've got to put the 8 hours in. And so I've got to make that a priority of the time that I wake up and the time that I go to bed needs to be the same. And not eating 3 to 5 hours before my head hits the pillow. Okay, so we want to give our body a rest in terms of the digestion process, and we want it to be able to detoxify. And that's what the sleep gives us, that ability to really repair our bodies. And so the chronic lack of sleep has now been linked to Alzheimer's and all kinds of other issues. So it is something to put a priority to. Okay, so then we know what some of the best elements of good sleep are: keeping the room cool, um, winding down, have a specific routine every single night so your body and brain say, get ready to go. I know it's sleep that I need and I'm ready. The other thing is to eliminate worry, toxic people, and stress. Okay, so stress can absolutely kill us. It is absorbed by every single cell in the body. And so to find a way, and I wish I had known this when I was working, that we need to find a way to handle stress. It can be meditation, it can be prayer, it can be breath work, it can be um, a time that you decide there's got to be another way. I've got to find another avenue to balance this. So it's going to impact the health of our body if we absorb stress and don't find a way to combat it. So now I want to talk to you about if you are ready for a fun program. I have one for you. Okay, it's only 6 weeks. And here's the thing. They say that those of us who make these resolutions for the new year, and we say that we're going to start January 1, the reality is by February 1st, or for sure by February 15th, it's gone. That resolution is gone. So the time to start is now. So the program that I'm going to tell you about is a fun program. It's gamified. Well, what does this mean? So 97% of the people who sign up for an online program do not complete it. But the majority of the people that sign up for a gamified program do complete it. Okay, so this is a gamified program. What does that mean? So you're competing against yourself. So once a week, you get a video. You watch me tell you what to do for a couple of minutes. Then you press done. You get points. Then you do a 2-minute homework assignment. Press done and you get points. And then you do the exercise, which takes a few minutes. And then you press done. You get more points. And your goal is to get to 100. So you're competing against yourself. And once a week, you get a new lesson. In 6 weeks, if you start on Monday, because I have somebody that already jumped in, she's starting Monday. Okay, so I can't take too many people. So now is the time to jump in if you want to do this. So what's going to happen? You are going to learn how to use these to your ability, best ability in minutes a day. And your stability is going to increase in minutes a day. And that's all it takes. And so you start at about 2 minutes. By the end of 6 weeks, you're at about 20 minutes. Ladies, who can't give 2 to 20 minutes a day? And that's all it takes. And it's in a fun uh, a fun system that's gamified. So you get points and you compete with yourself. And then you go into a closed Facebook group and I pop in and give you more encouragement and support. And that's why I can't take too many people. So if you want to join, you need to sign up now because it's at a great price. So Tracy is going to put into the chat. Is that right, Tracy? You would go to get this little book. Now, let's say you're not ready for the book. You can go to my website, read the first chapter for free, and decide if you want the book. Okay, so it's less than $20. It's a fun little uh, stocking stuffer to give to somebody that is just starting out, or if you want to hear a little bit about my story. And then this is the way to create your own story, okay? Your own story. Um, Now, if you want the program, then uh, Tracy's also putting in the chat how to get the stability solution, the program that I just mentioned, the program I can only take so many people. So it's on special right now. And Tracy, that special I think goes through Sunday. And then we will in the sale, it's a 50% off sale, so it's only $2.99. So it will never be this price again. So if you want to make progress, so Diane has already jumped in, and Diane will start on Monday. So it would be great to have the group start on Monday. So by the first of the year, you already have your mini habits. Okay, so you're stacking habits, and this is the only way that we're able to continue a journey the way that we want to, because we all have busy lives, so we have to habit stack. So what does that mean? That means that you have these around the house and you attach what you're going to do with these to a habit you already have. Okay, so you're making your coffee in the morning. These are in a convenient spot as you are getting your coffee maker going, you're doing your set. Okay, so you stack habits on what already exists. So you're doing your morning routine, and you can do, I love to do the wall presses and on the vanity. Okay, so this you're pushing your hands against the wall and or on something at the lower surface. And I go through that, what to do, when to do it, how to do it in the stability solution. It's a fun program with lots of support and giving you those mini habits stacked one on another so that you can continue the journey and you can age the way that you wish. We have about 2 minutes left. Are there any questions? Let's see if I can see questions. Uh, I don't think I can see questions. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't know. I did something. Oh, let me not try to do anything here. Tracy, can you let me know if there are any questions?
I'm not seeing anyone. If you do have a question, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask Dr. Maria.
Okay, let's see. I see Mary here. Can I unmute Mary?
Yes, hover over her name.
Hi.
Hello, Mary.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Mary, do you have any questions? Mary, you already have the book though, don't you?
I
You already
did.
have.
I already read it. It's great. I loved it. I know I was a little bit, I believed mine was nutrition. Again, I do a lot of cardio in the morning. I have that good habit, always have walking and but the strength training, the weights is something that I think will benefit me. I have osteoporosis, and my doctor says if I slip and fall, forget it. So she wanted to put me on medication, but I opted not to do any medication.
Very
So,
good.
mhm.
Okay, Mary, I'm gonna mute you again. Mary, very good, because I know that you're doing that morning walk, and I'm doing it too, and it's wonderful. Okay, so I'm glad that you're not going on medications. That's wonderful. And the getting stronger, the stability program, you will get stronger. You will know how to negotiate a gym. You will increase your core strength and your standing ability. So I'm glad standing on one foot, okay, that's going to be a predictor of how well your core strength is and how stable you are so that you're not going to fall. And so that's what we want to guard against. And that's why I put the stability solution together. It starts on Monday. I hope you'll join. If you have any additional questions, I want to be mindful of time. For 1 minute over. Ladies, thank you for joining me. The journey is great. We can age the way we wish.